What did it take to get through last week with both of those wins?
Well, just to get the 2 wins is a good thing, but in the way we won them, and especially the UNC game, to fall behind like that, and for our guys to be on the road playing a grass field for the first time this year and be able to come back, I think that some past experiences help us do that.
What have you learned about your team with so many different guys contributing in these big wins, and young guys too? Stephen Rafe is the latest, Jamie Trimboli's done it, and really the whole roster has helped out.
Yeah, well, we've talked about it earlier that, even as coaches, we're still learning about our team and figuring out who we are. And with as many tight games we had, I think it really helps us for our character and for the experiences that we've had. But, in some of these games where we'd like them to be a higher score, where we can get more people in game situations, we've had to evaluate guys more in practice and in game situations this year. But with the other guys stepping up and getting some good time, showing us what they can do on the field, you should see them more and more in game situations.
I think you'll get another home game probably in the first round of the playoffs, but how do you handle Senior Day coming up this weekend?
Senior Day has always been an emotional day. You've got our seniors, 4 and 5 year players, walking on the field with their parents, and it always takes a little bit to kind of, once the game starts, refocus and get back out there in the first quarter. So we try to handle that emotion the best we can, and we want to get possessions early in the game. Hopefully Ben can get that ball at our offensive end of the field and let our guys shake the rust off and get comfortable out there.
You guys have had midweek games the last couple of weeks. Nice to have a little time to regroup and get ready for this one.
It is, especially in a very physical game like with North Carolina. You're always going to walk out of there with some bumps and bruises, and we hadn't played in 80-some degrees, so that takes a little bit out of you too. So to come back to get our legs under us, get rehydrated, and have a whole week to prepare for Binghamton after going 2 weeks has been good.
Speaking of Ben, very soon, next few games, he'll be picking up his last face-offs for Syracuse. What's it going to be like not having him out there, no matter who you find to replace him?
You trying to ask me about next year already? I got a few games to go first. We obviously will miss Ben. You're going to miss a lot of the seniors with a job that like a Furman has done, and Sergio and Mariano, just to name a couple, and Malloy. But I think our younger guys, the times that he's got in this year, he's performed very well, and I know Coach Donnie, he'll be working with him a lot next fall and in the spring. But every year you graduate a group, and you're not sure what you're going to do the following year. You miss them, but you work through it, and other guys step up.
What do you see different with Binghamton this year? They ran off 8 in a row, and
Binghamton's been, I think, playing well. They didn't put up as many points as they wanted to against Albany last night, but they held Albany, a high-scoring team, to barely double figures, and they've been playing really good defense. I think their goalie's been a very good leader for them. The Waldron boy from West Tennessee has done a terrific job covering the other players' best man this year so far. I think Fields might have had 1 goal in the first half last night, and they just really kind of jam it in defensively. They play very tight, close defense. They'd rather have you shoot from the outside with that experienced goaltender in the cage, and offensively, they can be a little bit patient. The big number 10 is he's got a great left-handed shot, and he's really good at going to the goal. I think he's got twice as many points as anybody else on the team, so we know they're looking to him.
Paolo has done an extremely well in transition as far as scoring the first goal in the North Carolina game and the game tying it for 4th. What do you kind of see from him? Because he seems to thrive in transition play.
Well, Paolo comes out of Ithaca High School. I think he's been in a couple state championship games, and a little bit more as an offensive player and a two-way player for them. So coming out of high school, no stranger going to the goal. I think he was one of the higher scorers on their team. So when he gets the ball in the open field, and Carolina didn't slide to him twice, they kind of let him go in and take the shot. I think they kind of played the percentages, and he was comfortable doing that. And big goals for us. Got us, like you said, got us started off with a goal in transition, which was big. And I think that goal put us within 1 or 2 when he scored that one in the 4th quarter.
I know Sergio walked last year, but you talk about a senior and a guy who's made the transformation he's made. Can you think of anybody who's made a similar type?
No, very, very few. He, where he's coming from. First of all, it's not a big lacrosse hotbed in Winter Park, Florida, and he came to us and got hurt right away. So he's just a product of his own hard work, and he does have great athletic ability. He's got that great first step, and he's got the speed to go along with it after he gets his first step. And he's worked so hard in both his hands that he can go left-handed and right-handed where a lot of teams will play someone's strong hand, and he's just as capable going to his weaker hand than his strong hand.
Hey, Coach, Stephen Rafe is playing really well lately.
Yeah.
Do you expect to get so much from him in his freshman season?
You know, he's been getting better and better with us, and he's worked hard in strength and conditioning. That was one of the things we kind of noticed early on. We thought that strength would help him, you know, just play harder, be a little better dodger. And I think that's starting to pay off for him. And, you know, he's had some experience. You know, he came in against Army, had a big Army game, and we're just trying to get him on the field more and more because he's producing. You know, to have 4 points against Carolina in a 5-goal deficit was huge.